Not really sure what just happened. There again, every time I try to do this, something strange happens, and I'm always left with the question: was there something I was supposed to do that I didn't do and was not told to do it? It's a lack of instructions that basically left completely to be sort of an unguided object is not something I can handle very effectively, and that's bothering me a lot. I just wanted to I do know why I'm here, and I know what the purpose of this is. Basically, to relate the story of how I interacted or did not interact with Norton as when I was a customer of theirs, and I struggled quite far too much during that time because I just kept encountering more and more and more problems. And I found that if I wanted to turn to Norton, they made it impossible. If anything, they just sort of did everything in their power to keep me from making contact with them. And I just finally, that's it. I don't see that I'm doing myself any favors. And then I found an alternative antivirus to use that had a much higher rating and I could take right away. And so I did just that. I am not sad because no customer should have to be as frustrated as I was for such a long period of time and feel that I'm basically talking to a brick wall. You know, I take it back. A brick wall at least just doesn't give you answers that leave you furious. So I just gave up. I moved to another company, and that is where I am, and that's where I'm going to stay. If I had to be pushed that far for that long a period of time, I don't think the problem is with me. A customer should not have to break down barriers to communicate with one of the companies with which he does business. That is how Norton is. They make it almost so impossible for a person to break through unless they follow some rather esoteric rules of theirs. Then I just give up. I saw no reason for me to continue and try to get through when obviously they didn't want me. And don't anybody say that's not true, that they did want me. If they had, they would have made some efforts to make it possible for me to communicate. They made no efforts at all. I will say there was one man who contacted me from them. He went by the name of Christian. I don't know if that is his real name, but that was the name he gave. He gave me an extension number, but whenever I called the number, the regular number to dial to reach him, I got a recording that the number didn't exist. So I thought, was I speaking to a fraudster who is just pretending to be a representative of Norton? And I found that if I tried to reach him again, it was sort of like throwing a penny in a wishing well. Chances of winning were just slim to none. And I have to say, of the others I dealt with, I really got the feeling that nobody knew what they were doing. Nobody was managing the show. And every time I spoke with somebody, it was either to end up with a feeling that I'm getting nowhere or having somebody argue with me and try to shove me away as much as possible. So in the end, I just said, okay, shove me away. You're not the only antivirus company that exists, and you're not even the highest rated. So I know when to quit. I definitely did just that. And I'm not about to apologize for I'm not the one who did the wrong thing. I did the only thing that a person could do after repeated failures. When it wasn't necessarily my fault for the failures, it's obviously it was the attitude that Norton has towards his clients. So I am no longer connected with Norton, and I'm not sad about it. At least now I have fewer reasons for frustration, and also the feeling that I do have now a part of this working for me.